You're listening to Rouge Radio, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
It's time to get the point as Rouge Radio is ready to kick off.
Ready!
The best football talk with the best in the business.
So what is the cost? You have 2 first-round picks this year because the Argos are dumb enough to trade for Drew Willie.
A few rookies.
We go directly to the on-field product. We welcome to the show the 20th overall pick in this past Sunday's CFL draft, DeAndre Wright of the Alouettes. DeAndre, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
And the occasional Hall of Famer.
Please welcome Doug Brown, who is one of the members of the current class of 2016 in the CFL Hall of Fame. Doug, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you guys for the kind words and for having me on the program.
Rouge Radio is on the air. Here's your hosts, Robert Dalton and Tony Allen.
Welcome, everybody, to the Rouge Radio podcast powered by the Canadian Football Podcast Network. This is episode 533. Live from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and live from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is the Rouge Radio podcast sponsored by the good people over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, enter the promo code Rouge. Your order will be 20% less, as well as free worldwide shipping. Gentlemen?
Well, thank you, Herb. Tony, for those who are watching this on YouTube, you might have to explain the name. You might have to.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun. Little Simpsons drop. We always do the Simpsons mentions every now and then. And I don't know why. Just impulse. I saw the put a name in. And for fun, I put in Rock Strongo. And I don't know if I should explain it or let the diehard Simpsons fans explain it on our social media, or we'll fill them in next. But if you are a diehard Simpsons fan, then Rock Strongo needs no introduction, nor does Lance Uppercut.
and just for that, Rock Strongo is now the title of our podcast this week. It's easy.
Thank you, Mr. Uppercut.
Hey, we're going to make this a short podcast just because of apparently Alberta just found out about the internet. Tony just sent me a quick text. Yeah.
Despite being smack dab in the middle of the city, apparently internet connections don't seem to do very well in the little part of town that I'm in. So hopefully we get through this with minimal lag.
Well, I mean, it's sounding perfectly right now. The only thing that could really screw this up is if I forgot to hit record. And it's recording, so we're good there. Now the end product might be in question. Before we get into week 11, how about week 10? Like, I didn't put it on the itinerary, but I wrote this on social media and I said, we talked about if games could be entered into the Hall of Fame, the CFL Hall of Fame. We should have weeks. Week 10 of 2025 should be in the Hall of Fame of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Now, were they great games from beginning to end? Not necessarily. Part of the uniqueness of the CFL is not the whole 60 minutes. It's primarily the last 3 minutes, and we got it all. Yet Edmonton's come from behind against Montreal, and we'll talk more about Montreal as we get to week 11. You have who played? I forget who played. No, that was the Friday game. The Thursday game was the BC Lions and Hamilton Tiger Cats going touchdown for touchdown. It went to overtime. It's unfortunate it ended the way that it did. Not as against Hamilton, but you would like to see, hey, no turnovers in overtime. And unfortunately, the way that the game was going, you never expected a turnover. And I mean, that is just one of those things. And then, of course, the doubleheader on Saturday, Toronto and Ottawa just going back and forth. Not exactly the most back and forth between Winnipeg and Calgary, but what the heck? Lead change after lead change. Well, actually, it was just Calgary jumping in front. Winnipeg takes the lead. A 63-yard field goal.
Unbelievable.
Like that. We talked about Dave Ridgway last week, And man,
Mhm.
Sergio Castillo might be one of the names that might be popping up on that kickers list.
Yeah.
Before we go to week 11, do you want to chime in on that, Mr. Strongo?
Yeah, no, I mean, it had to have been a good week if what's his name, Luke Wilson, what's his name from TSN?
Luke Wilson, yeah.
He just had to quit tweeting. He just posted that he's not going to be tweeting anymore for a while. So, I mean, it had to have been a good week if Luke Wilson had to shut down tweeting about the CFL because even he couldn't rip it apart. And trust me, that guy could make a negative. That guy could find a problem in every solution. So
Yeah,
there wasn't a problem he couldn't, or there wasn't a solution he couldn't find a problem to.
yeah. The week 10 was definitely not was the opposite of what
Yeah.
do we call it? Hot garbage. Yeah.
Hmm.
Week 11. Let's get Irv in the place here.
Rouge Radio is partnered with the good people at Sports Interaction. Go to SIA.com/Rouge. Your first deposit will be matched up to 100%. And as always, Tony and Dalts say, please play and gamble responsibly. Gentlemen.
Well, thank you, Irv. We start off. This is when we are recording this on Wednesday, August 13th. Week 11 starts tomorrow in Winnipeg. The Ottawa Redblacks are in Winnipeg. And Tony, I don't think I've ever seen a misguided spread here. Winnipeg is favored by 5.5. The over/under is set at 52.5. I think the bettors are expecting Ottawa to just crap the bed in this game. And
Hmm.
I don't know what to expect. I don't know if Winnipeg's offense is going to come alive like it should. And they gotta give Brady Oliveira the ball a little bit more. I've never seen a
Hmm.
team since 2013 in that has been the Bombers. I've never seen a Bomber team come out, not dominate, but have control of a game like they did last week in Calgary, and then just completely do the whatever worked for them. They did the complete opposite.
Hmm.
And I kind of knew that would happen. I mean, we both talked about the emergence of Colaros and Vernon Adams coming from injury, and it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. But in this case, the Ottawa Redblacks, fresh off their come from behind win against the Toronto Argonauts, they're still underdogs in Winnipeg, and Winnipeg will have, what is it, 9 straight sellouts?
Nice.
Unbelievable.
Good for
Unbelievable.
them.
Anybody who says the CFL is dead, just look at Winnipeg right now.
Hmm.
Just look at it. Anyway, some key notable. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers released Mike Benson. He was coming off an injury. Long stoppers don't really matter, do they? I'm going to be open my DMs to people who are just pro special teams. I just know it. Uh, Ottawa has some defensive players on the shelf right now. Cleon Lang is questionable, but it is a game time decision. Tony, where do you got this one going?
um, I think I'm going for Winnipeg on this one, and there was a part of me that thought, do I want to try and make a case for Ottawa because despite Winnipeg being a favorite, a pretty generous over and under.
Mm-hmm.
Is there are the Winnipeg Blue Bombers a team you're that confident in right now? Like, do you think are they a team that's just, oh well, they're in against Ottawa, this is the same Winnipeg team, they'll just dominate? And I don't know, I guess maybe I thought about maybe coming into this episode arguing for Ottawa. They're on a 2-game win streak. I mean, take their opponents at face value, the 2 Ottawa wins,
Mm-hmm.
but it is Calgary and Toronto, I believe it was.
Yep.
So do what you will with those opponents, but I think when I was done mapping it out in my head, I still did not think this was going to be an Ottawa that could walk into a full house in Winnipeg. And again, a double bouquets to Bombers fans. They have a 500 team after going to 5 straight Grey Cups, and now they have a 500 club, which isn't impressive, but they're not staying away. So double bouquet to Bombers fans for selling out another game for their 500 club. But I still like the Bombers enough to take them 31-21 over the Red Blacks.
You're definitely so you 31-21. So you are just coming up under the under with that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I'm going to stick with the under in this one, and there's everything about this wants me to pick Winnipeg in this one, just because in front of a sold out crowd. Defensively, the secondary with Winnipeg is just like what are they doing? There's so many questions with that one. Then it's like, okay, well then the optimistic in me realizes the Bombers have lost 4 games this year to 2 teams. Like I don't know if that's a chirp at the scheduling or what have you, but the Bombers of their 4 wins have been against 2 teams, 3 against Calgary and 1 against Toronto. So I mean, at this point, who knows? Like it could be that Winnipeg or Calgary and Toronto match up really well against Winnipeg, which I know Toronto does. Like Toronto matches up perfectly against Winnipeg. With Calgary, it still shocks me and whatnot, but they could match up pretty well as far as Calgary's offense and Winnipeg's defense. You look at Ottawa, and I don't know. I offensively, the way that they like to move the ball maybe fits well within Winnipeg's defense and whatnot. Offensive line, Ottawa's could be stronger. I'm going to have to go with some Bomber fans who went into my DMs and wanted me to choose against Winnipeg just to start a little streak here. So I'm not 100% confident in Winnipeg. And you look down on paper, I do see Winnipeg still as a better team than Ottawa. Just waiting for something, that other shoe to fall in this game. They might have like a 10-point lead at halftime and just blow it away and then completely go 20-13 on this one. But I'll take Ottawa in this one, 28-24 over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The Friday night's game is the Toronto Argonauts in Edmonton to play the Elks. The Elks, I think this might be the first time this season, the Elks are favored by 3 points against the Toronto Argonauts. Over-under is at 53.5. I like the over in this one. And the reason why is just because I like both these offenses. Like these offenses on paper should not be good at all. Like you look at the receiving core on Edmonton, a whole lot of meh to me. But Cody Fajardo is making them look better. In Toronto, Nick Arbuckle is doing Nick Arbuckle things right now and looks to be unstoppable. So I definitely like to take the over on this one. Definitely take the over. But defensively, like it's going to be which defense is going to be able to make that first boom, that first big play to maintain, because I think it might be touchdown for touchdown, field goal for field goal. And to me, I like Toronto's defense in this one. Definitely cover the spread because Edmonton's favorite, but I have Toronto winning this one 35-30 over the Edmonton Elks. Tony, what do you got in this one?
And I don't have the offense going as big as you do, and I do have another win for the Elks going into this one too. My total comes in just shy of the 53.5, so put me at the under. I'm taking the Elks in this one 28-24 in a game where I'm not sure which one of these teams I believe going into it.
Yeah. No, it's if there were better opponents, I'm not convinced that we're on the beginning of a streak, especially for Edmonton. For Toronto, I've never seen a team have their offense really so well engineered, but special teams and defensive has let them go or let them down on so many occasions. Next game is a doubleheader on Saturday. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are in Saskatchewan to play the Rough Riders. Rough Riders are only favored by 3 points. Coming off the bye, the over-under is 53.5. Bo Levi Mitchell is on a tear. Does he continue Tony.
Oh, why does hearing Bo Levi Mitchell versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders immediately question the direction I was going in? I mean, first of all, I can't believe we're talking about the two best teams in the divisions going to head, the Tiger Cats versus the Riders, right off the top. It's like, those aren't the two top teams in the divisions, and they are, and rather convincingly as well. Like this, there's no, I say that in jest, but I'm not joking. These are the worthy division leaders, and I can't believe this. Heck, this could, I mean, let's do a great potential Grey Cup preview if the season goes the way it is. And Bo Levi Mitchell is a Hamilton Tiger Cat. His Stampeder years are far enough away now where we could say he's clear of being a Stampeder, I feel. I took the Riders initially, 35-28. Hearing Bo Levi Mitchell versus the Riders in Saskatchewan, is there anything that lingers? Is there any part of Bo that still wants to have a big, just wants to feed a Self-Harmon Institute of Technology burger to Riders fans one more time, regardless of what colors he's wearing? But that's a sentimental thing, and I don't think it's reality. So I am going to hold on to my Riders win over the Tiger Cats, and the summer of Saskatchewan continues in the CFL.
Wow. Okay. I was on that train too, and then I can go both ways. And to me, it's kind of like, okay, well, I expect Hamilton. If there's a prop bet for Bo Levi Mitchell to be like over under a 262 or something like that, take the over on this one. I think Bo Levi Mitchell versus their zone defense in Saskatchewan can be done. But I also think Saskatchewan's defense can be susceptible to the explosion play. And if there's any team that can process that explosive play, it's Bo Levi Mitchell with Kenny Lawler, or Bo Levi
Oh,
Mitchell
wow.
to Tim White. And who would have thought it? Bo Levi Mitchell to Keandre Smith. There's so many weapons on this team that defensively, I don't know if Trevor Harris, like, he'll dink and dunk his way down the field. I have perfect confidence that he'll be able to get the yards up there. I don't know if I have the confidence for Trevor Harris to get the points, the necessary points. I have Hamilton winning this one 30-26 over the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
So we're looking for a perfect opposite week.
Yeah, and
We've agreed on nothing so far.
that was the first thing. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute, are we like 0 for 3? That's nice. Last game of the week, and to be honest, I kind of want. I just this a thought entered my brain. You know how in the NFL they to get their best game of the week, they change their schedules and whatnot.
Mhm.
I honestly think that they should have changed the Saskatchewan Hamilton game to the second half of that doubleheader. Like that to me, that's prime time on Saturday evening. I think that is just like that should be all eyes on that particular game. Last game of the week though, the Montreal Alouettes in BC to play the BC Lions. The Lions are favored by 6.5 points. Over under is set at 51.5, and why not? Because McLeod Bethel Thompson is placed on the 6-game injured list. Caleb Evans will be making his start. The only thing that makes me believe that Montreal will make this a little bit less of a rout is if they actually have nonstop runs. If Caleb Evans, like we saw week 1, what Chris Streveler was able to do to the BC, or week 2 to the BC Lions. If Caleb Evans can get that run game involved, I think that Montreal does have a chance. So with that, I think BC definitely covers the run, or covers the. You look like you're laughing.
Sorry. You got me at non-stop runs.
Okay.
I'm not mature enough to handle that.
We're 8 years old now.
Exactly. Delta's prediction is brought to you by Taco Tuesday at Taco Bell. Non-stop runs. That's got to be the new run of the. That's got to be the name of the show. I'm sorry, that's so immature. I should be better.
Well, I'm looking at you and I'm like, oh my God, is Tony having a sneezing fit? It looks like you're sneezing.
No,
And then
I'm
it was
trying to
like,
compose myself.
for the duration of my speech, there's Tony to the side, and I was like, no, he's either like really trying to hold back a sneeze, or he saw something that was funny, and then it turns out that he just heard something.
I'm just incredibly immature for 49 years old. I still think poop is funny. So I don't know.
Your birthday was last week, and or 2 weeks ago, and happy birthday! You turned 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I think Montreal does cover the spread, but I do think BC comes away with this one. Not have anything to do with what BC is. I still think BC is just kind of like a whole lot of mid, too. But I think right now we are to the realization that Montreal is really who they are without Davis Alexander. And give all credit to Davis Alexander. And then I know I'm probably blowing a lot of smoke up his rear end. Keep it on par with the runs joke there. But there's definitely a huge gap in between QB1 and now eventually QB2 or QB3.
Yeah.
So I definitely, my gut, my brain says that BC wins this one by 10, but I think that possibly the coaching staff will have Montreal properly coached. And defensively, Montreal does play well in BC, but I still have BC winning this one 28-26. Tony, where do you see this one going? Please pick Montreal.
Yeah, and pardon?
Please pick Montreal so that we're anti.
Yeah, I wish I could. Unfortunately, I don't think that's. I feel like it's my duty, giggity, but duty, duty. But anyways, no, I wish I could, but I don't think. I'm not going to say Montreal is in a free fall, but who was it? Former Argonauts quarterback Dukes Montreal signed
Cameron Dukes
earlier today because Bethel McLeod-Thompson is obviously going to be out longer than they thought, or he's going to be out a while. So
I'd say forever is a
Montreal's
good.
in a free fall, but I don't even want to pick Montreal in this one. I don't even want to make an argument to pick Montreal in this one. I'm just, and you summed it all up right there. BC 21-17 is what I'll take, because again, I don't think BC is dominant enough to blow out Montreal, but they're good enough to take them out for sure.
They're just good enough to take out Caleb Evans and whatever backup quarterback they might have to trot out there for the later stages of that game. Before we wrap it up, CFL or CFPN Fantasy League, I went toe-to-toe with Sheldon Jones of the 2 and Out podcast, and in payback fashion, because Travis, I nearly beat him by 1.5 points about a month ago. Sheldon beat me by 0.7 of a point. Might have been it might have been a bigger lead on that one, but 0.7 makes me look a little bit better. And considering I forgot to dress my fantasy roster, and I would have taken Bo Levi Mitchell, I would have taken Kenny Lawler, and I don't know who I would have taken for that third spot. But I do see that Sheldon did have Bo Levi Mitchell. He did have Kenny Lawler. And I had to stick with Vernon Adams Jr. for my quarterback and Calgary's defense. I swear to God, I went into that game with like 60 points or whatever. Vernon Adams almost paid off. Almost. And I was so close. I think Calgary's defense, if they don't allow that last that field goal, I think that might have pushed me over the edge. But anyway, before we wrap it up, any final thoughts here, Tony?
No, just pray that we get another weekend like last week.
Yeah,
I don't think we've got the matchups to do it, but we'll see.
Week 10 had us very suspenseful. Week 10 had us very entertaining. Week 11, you're up. For Tony, I'm Dalts. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.